Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Now I want to cover a topic related to users. As you understand, we are a one user. We are a user and there will be several other users in Adaptive. Suppose you are working for a client and that client has 100 users. But when you're doing any sheet changes and you're doing something in the Adaptive that all the 100 users don't want that all the 100 users should not be able to see. See that data, basically. Suppose only for certain people, that particular sheet or that particular data or that particular things should be accessible. How do you tackle that in Adaptive? That was the part, and we don't have edit access. That's why we don't see that particular tab here. That tab is called as administration. Let's see if we have that tab in the help section here, but usually we don't have it in this, our tenant, and we will not have it. And the reason is security and administration. We have it. The first reason is if you have edit access, you can create n number of users who can use this tenant. Suppose you get the edit access on this tenant. Then what will happen is you can create a simultaneous users and they can access the sheets. They can access the data. They can delete some data and it will be gone. That's why it is not given to us, because what will happen is you can create an ID for me and I will use that ID. And if I go and delete certain things, then it will be very difficult for them to recover that. They have trusted. That's why they have created this ID and they have created a tenant for us that we can use it. But now what happened? If they give us the edit access, suppose if edit access is given to you, you will create an ID for your friend. You will share this tenant with him. He will enter the user ID and he will enter the password. And what if then he goes here and deletes the top level company? The entire tenant will be affected. Correct. You are learning Adaptive from Cloud Foundation. It is acceptable that whatever you do, it's part of your learning. But there could be some other resources. Who can make that particular change happen? Think from a client perspective now. Suppose you are working for any client and there are 100 users again. And if you give edit access to all the 100 users, what will happen? They will keep on going deleting stuff. They can have access to the salary data also. There is something that needs to be controlled, and that is control in the security and administration part. Let me just close all of this thing. It's too many tabs. This tab is not visible in our tenant. And once it is visible, then you can do a lot of things. By first is your user creations. You can create a new user structure in such a way that you create users, you then assign them what levels they have the access. You assign what Cs they have access. You assign them to a group also. There is a lot of things that you can do in for that particular user. ID. Similarly, they have said something for us as a user. They have put inside one group for us, and in that group they have given the access to it. Suppose in your client there are 100 users and you want to create a grouping of users. Suppose it uses admin users, power users, finance users. You can create several groups and then organize the users under that group. What will happen is whenever you create a sheet or whenever you create a report, you can directly give an access to that particular group. By that I mean, suppose I'm here. I'm going to share this report to someone. I'm going to save this and I'm going to share this report. Suppose this is an IT report, and this IT report should only be shared with IT users. One way to do is you come in the available users. You select all the IT users one by one. Suppose he is the IT users. You select here. He is the IT user. You add it here. He is the IT user. He added here. If in the client there are 100 employees and out of that there are 25 employees belonging to it group, it becomes very tedious for you to keep on adding it one by one. And there could be certain cases where this particular employee has left the organization or has left one team and they have joined financing. In that case, what will happen? He will still have access to this report. For example, this guy has moved from a team to financing, but at the moment you have already shared this report with him. You need to understand that you also have to delete him back. You have to delete it. Delete that back. It is a very time-consuming process. The best way to tackle is you create them as groups. For example, we have a team as a group here. We have a finance team as a group. What you will do, you will just give the access to the entire financing. By this, all the users listed down inside the finance team will have access to this report. Same goes with your different groups. Suppose HR team needs the access to the salary reports. You can give the entire HR team the access to this particular report. By this, you are having the security also in place, and you are doing the users also in the place, and you are doing the grouping also. This all things are built in that section which is called as administration. You build the groups, then inside those groups you build the users. And then those users will have certain levels accessible to. For example, let's check our ID. If you check our ID and let's see if we have, if you check for view profile and I want to see if what level they have given access to, it's not visible. What do you in the administration tab is you create a name, you create a position, you write username, you set up which particular homepage should be reflecting for that particular user. You set up the time zone and the country. You set up a password also and set up a image also for that. And you just save it and then you can add it in the new group also. This, for example, you can create a new group. I would just say I'm going to create an IT group. It's one recipient. Whenever you create, you just need to add some users. Let's add ourselves. Think what is the name of this one. And then click on. We have been as a group failed. Do we have access? We don't have access to create. It's simply basically creating of groups, creating users, then assigning all the things here, assigning the picture, and then setting the password for them. And also there is a thing where it gives you the functionality that this user should have only access to Mumbai. Sure. This user should have only access to a Philadelphia show. That is also an additional setting which is done in the administration part. Again, were you able to edit any kind of sheet in the data? The answer was no, you were not. You were not able to edit some certain data. Again, that level of thing has been controlled in the administration part, where you give a certain user only view access, only edit access, and only there are certain things that appear in that section. Two of them are edit and view. And third is full view. Third is full view. It gives you the entire view. You can do import data. Also, you can do integrations. Also, you can do everything. At the moment for ourselves, we have been set certain parameters for that. ID that we can only do these things. We can only have access to this level. We can have only access to the sheets. There could be certain sheets in adaptive that are built that we don't have access to also. That is also a possibility. All of this happens in the administration tab, which you can just look for here. Whatever I've just said is written in detail, and you can set up IDs and passwords, then permission, then levels ownership. Then version ownership is also there, and then account setting is also there. Sheet setting is also there, that whatever sheets you want, and it should be read only or it should be editable only for you. All these things happens in administration part. For example, create user groups export. You can create user groups here. This is the way of creating and adding the group. You create group, you add the name, and then add the list of the levels. And click on. You can delete groups also. Manage users is one more thing. It's pretty much the same. It's just managing the delete my editing, anything editing the password or deleting the users. It's same. Administration. Since we don't have access to that particular tab, we are trying to understand certain topics from the health section. We have certain things here as an FAQ, that what should we do if this is a restriction? We have certain use cases that you can go through at the moment. It is not required because usually we require only for setting up users and giving them access to. There is one thing I wanted to see if we can edit. You see, something called as home page is coming. Let's say I want one sheet. Whenever we log into Adaptive, the home page should be reflecting like this. That's my task. How do I do that? I will tell you where this is useful. I'm just going to home. And I'm just going to check if it is changing. Yes, it is changing. Whenever I log into Adaptive by default, I will be put here in this particular tab. Now the settings which I did just now. Why it is necessary in Adaptive? You are making certain kind of reports. You are making certain analysis that your higher management people should see. Right? What you want is they generally don't have time to go through all of this, right? In big organizations, they don't have time to log in to see what data you're doing, what work you're doing. But at higher management level, they want something to be displayed in the form of your analysis. There can be some dashboards. There can be your reports. There can be some flow chart. They can. There can be some sheet data. There can be some KPIs. What happens is you can build those things in Adaptive and directly set that as the homepage to those users. What will happen? You are directing those users directly to that page that they can have a look at that particular thing which you have built. If you ask, suppose, if Thomas is the higher management and I have set certain report for the financial statement that these are the KPIs and this is the budget and this is the actual data and this is the variance. If these four things that I just mentioned, this analysis Thomas requires. He will not see anything like this. He will not see anything like this. He will only see in the screen those four KPIs listed that this is the actual budget. This is the actual, this is the budget and this is the variance. And then he can just make a top level decision and he can add a comment that the variance is this much you can target. You can keep a target of budget for this financial area like this. His job is very simple. He comes, he sees the data at the top level and he just responds to the team. That is why the thing which I just said, it is very, very useful for your display purpose, for your homepage. If you want to give directly an access to the report, you can give the report and it will be saved. You can mention which report, you can mention which dashboard, you can mention which sheet also. That is also possible. The moment we click on homepage, now we will see the report section reflecting here. I think it did not happen. Just click on home, report should come. Whenever I click on home, it is giving me on the report section. This is another feature in administration which we control. And there are few more things in administration where we are dealing with the permission sets. Permission sets is nothing, but again, if it gives you to create a template. Suppose there is a unique requirement that this particular user. Suppose for ourselves we should be able to edit reports, but we should not be able to edit the sheets. That is also possible. At the moment, we are not able to edit reports. If we are not able to edit sheets, if you want to tweak the permission sets for our user, what the users in the administration will do is they will give edit access to reports, but they will block our edit access on the sheets thing. We get only partial access, and that is only possible if you are a power user. Usually, power users are the ones who have the access to the entire model management interface, and all the elements are visible in the system. Once you are the power user, it means that you have the full view, full edit access, and you can do anything in the system. Usually, if there is a team of, if there is a client of 100 people, the team size which are power user, it is only 5 to 6 people. And not more than that, because what happens is they will have the access of even deleting certain accounts or versions or levels or dimensions. What happened if you delete the entire actual data? Every data stored in all the sheets will be deleted. This happens generally if you give a power access to all users. Because the users don't know how to use this and they can do certain stupid things which will impact the business. That is the reason why the power users are very, very, very few in the organizations. All good. I just have one question here. I assume that some data is deleted. And is there a way to recover it? Yes, you have to write a mail to Workday. The way to write you either have this support thing where you can request for something and you can basically we use this submit a requesting where you are basically oh, it's not opening. I need to enter this, but a page opens up where you are writing your concern that I'm facing this issue. Can I do something? Workday token or Workday ID is given to you, and then a Workday representative will get back to you, and you will discuss what exactly the requirement is. And if it is chargeable, he will tell you that this is chargeable, and they will get back to you. But if it is not possible in adaptive, then they will raise it as a announcement that they will cover in the future release. Suppose if the requirement is, can I have dimension and attribute in the same page? But at the moment you cannot have it. There are separate tabs given. If you submit a request, something like this, they will get back to you. They will create a Workday ID. They will create a case and they will do the reasoning that this is not possible because we have followed this structure, and they will try to understand why do you want such kind of things in one particular tab, and they will understand. They will try to understand your point of view also. This is the thing that can happen from the back end. If you raise a support ticket basically, but yes, usually the data can be taken back, but it is a chargeable thing. I think we have covered everything with the reports also, and with the model management and the security and administration also. Since we don't have the tab, we can't spend much time on it. Another thing I want to check on this is formula validation. Basically, this gives a page where it is giving you the feasibility to check how many formulas are there in the system and how many errors can be. Computer. There is a possibility that there are certain models where the accounts are not working well, and you did not get a chance to see those particular things. At the moment, you can see it is coming. They have done many computations. There are several computations working in the backend. It is talking about the time, and it is talking about the errors. It is telling you that for this particular account, and this particular intersection, we have some kind of an error that is reflecting in the cell or in the account. This gives you a top level thing just to see your adaptive instance is working fine or not. You can see a lot of number of errors also. If I click on here and make it 500 and just see how many errors it is showing. At the moment, we can see a lot of errors are there. A lot of errors are there in this tenant, and it depends on the maximum error display that you are choosing. It is giving you the account name. It is giving you the error message also. You can just drill down to this level and this account and just see what is the problem that is there at the moment. This is not our tenant. We don't do that efforts. But yes, this is one of the feature that we can do it. If there is an error, you just go in that account and change the formula. This is one thing again. We have covered everything. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.